Example.
I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce. Yay, what's up? Happy Thursday. Hope you all had a nice Wednesday night. I had a good one. Went 5-2. My two biggest bets hit too. So it was a nice Wednesday night. And we're rolling on 3 weeks now where things have just been going my way. I don't want to talk about it too much. Not trying to fuck it up, but not trying to mess the juju up. But things have been going really well for me ever since that. I had a bad wild card weekend Sunday. Ever since then, been on a roll. So hopefully that continues. Chris, can you actually even come back? Because I can't see you. Can you hear?
He can't hear you.
Yeah, looks like he heard me. Yep. So tonight is tough. Only 5 NBA games. 3 of them include teams that are on a back-to-back. And it's not that we were just talking about this, actually. It's not that I'm against betting back-to-backs. I'm cool with it. I actually like trying to find some patterns of how teams perform on back-to-backs. It's the added element of the last-minute injury reports that really scares me. So, yeah, we'll go through it. There is, of these 5 NBA games, I currently have no NBA bets open. There is one game where I kind of like 2 bets, but we're going to get to it first. It's the last one, actually. The first one up is Lakers-Wizards. Ski or Chris, you want to go first? Because I'm going to leave and come back because I still can't see Chris. So I'll be right back. Lakers-Wizards.
I'll say the injury report is crazy. This is another one of those games. We know Anthony Davis is going to be out for a while. You have Rui, Dorian Finney-Smith. Rui's probable. Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron, and Gabe Vincent are questionable. Bagley's out. Sadiq out. Brogdon's out. Sarr is out. For the Wizards, it is the second of a back-to-back. I believe 4th and 6th nights for them. The Lakers do have the rest advantage, but 3rd game and 4 nights for them. No Anthony Davis, I got to say no defense. That's just what I think first off. I know most of the sample size is without Vando, and we did add Dorian Finney-Smith, but that's how it's been throughout the tenure as a Laker. So I would disagree with the total coming down and look more towards an over game. And I always say when Washington loses, they usually lose by 10 plus, but I'm not so sure that the Lakers win this game. I think the Wizards are live to win. So Wizards and over are my leans.
This is a rock in a hard place here because on one side, how the hell can you lay 8.5 on the road with the Lakers? I mean, that defense has been so bad recently on the road. They were making Tyrese Maxey look like the best NBA player to ever step on a court a few nights back. So I can't trust the Lakers defense on the road. But the Wizards, I mean, the Wizards they were down 30 at home to the Raptors last night. That was like some unholy shit. That was like, this is not an NBA team. This is a G League team out here. So I don't even have a lean Wizards and over. It sounds good to me. I don't even put anything up for me. I have no interest at all. Chris?
Yeah, I bet it under last night.
Whoa, you guys are going head to head on this one?
Yeah, I bet under. And I get it. Like, Ski makes a lot of great points to why we shouldn't like the Lakers playing defense in this spot. Like, not a great spot for the Lakers to play any defense ever. But we, like you said, Kyle, this is not a real offense on the other end of the floor. You also add in the pace that the Lakers have been playing with. I think like having no AD, of course, like hurts the defense. But you get like, I think they are going to have some pieces, like some defensive pieces. Dorian Finney-Smith, Jared Vanderbilt. Who are we worried about like attacking the rim and snagging a bunch of offensive rebounds for the Washington Wizards here? So I think the Lakers will dictate pace. The Wizards it's still a pretty fatigued spot for them. Second leg of a back-to-back. You got the Lakers with the rest advantage now. And the Lakers offense, to me, that's the thing that's not trustworthy. So I think the Wizards actually come out here and play a little bit of defense, which is something that we haven't seen. The Lakers will have to rely on their defense here, in my opinion, and it's going to be a lower pace, slower pace game. So under, I think, what is the total now? I took 225.5, I think it was last night.
I think it's 223.5 now. I'll pull it up.
Okay.
It is.
So we'll see how the CFV goes. But yeah, I bet under 225.5 last night.
Okay. Looks like Prop Beavers got you like this one too. I remember you talking about this yesterday.
Yeah. This is my only play of the day, but I really do like this one quite a bit. No AD, no Christian Wood on the court tonight. And in games where Hayes isn't returning from a 1-month layoff, he's 2-0 without the duo. He's averaging 9.5 rebounds per game and a gaudy 34 minutes per game with just 25 plus minutes here. This is a guy over his last 7 to 9 career games, dating back to his Pelicans days. He's averaging 9 rebounds per game. And the Wizards have been horrendous against centers on the glass. They've allowed the last 8 of 11 they've faced over their individual total, 10 straight to hit at least 8 plus. They've allowed the most rebounds per game to centers per 48 minutes over the last 30 days. And now I know the Wizards get blown out daily. I mean, goddamn, are they pathetic? That could hurt Hayes' minutes here. But the plus money does make me feel a bit better about taking that risk here. They only have one center active on the roster, Christian Koloko. He didn't even get that many minutes the last 2 times that 80 was out. And I feel like this is 1 rebound short here. I feel like this should be 8.5, maybe 9.5 at that plus price. So for us to be getting 7.5 here at plus 105 still just seems a bit ridiculous to me. Obviously, I would have liked it a bit better if Sar was at the 5 instead of Joval due to the size. But I think if you're going to give me Hayes against pretty much any center at 7.5 at plus money, I'll go ahead and take it here just due to the minutes. So give me Jackson Hayes, the emotional wreck, over 7.5 rebounds.
Is he emotional?
Yeah, he's not a great fella.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Yeah, sure.
Was there a reason? Did you consider at all his points, rebounds, and assists? Because I looked at that and never really jumped
So what
out.
I looked at is I looked at the points, and he didn't see that much usage without AD off the court. So I was like, but why not just focus on the category that the Wizards are letting opponents over, and he himself is going over without AD. So I just decided to isolate it to the rebounds. But if you wanted to do the points, I mean, the Wizards defense
Don't do
is
the
absolute
points. He
booty
sucks.
cheeks. Yeah, I kind of
You have it right.
I agree with Ski.
Do the rebounds.
Yeah, I agree with Ski.
Before we move on to the next game, Prop Beaver, hit the plus at the bottom to add something.
Okay.
Go to media source. I forgot that we have a 60-second hit OK. And then go to P video stuff.
Okay.
And it's called Factor 70. There you go. Hit it up. Real quick, just want to share my experience with Factor 75. This company really changed things for me. I mean, you rewind a couple years ago, YouTube channel was growing, working long hours, door dashing like a madman, crushing my waistline and my wallet. That's when I discovered Factor 75. Skip the overpriced takeout trap. Factor's cheaper and way more delicious. Get chef-crafted, restaurant-quality meals delivered right to your door. They're ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, which means more time for you to get back to your grind. When things get hectic, no worries, Factor's flexible. Change your order up every week with plans from 4 to 18 meals per week, or pause or reschedule your deliveries at any time. I love Factor 75. I'm a huge Factor 75 guy. We all are here. Head to factor75.com or click the link below. Use the code 50SAUCE to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box. That's code 50SAUCE at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. There we go. All right, next game.
Inspiring.
So we got Atlanta on the road at all right, Atlanta on the road at Cleveland. Is it still 10.5 here? I mean, this is one of the ones that obviously is on a back-to-back. Cleveland just played. Atlanta beat the Cavs twice already this season, which kind of makes it interesting because on one hand, it's like, hey, Atlanta could beat the Cavs, but on the other hand, it's Cleveland's not going to play around with this one. Atlanta's been rebounding the ball better. I want to bet the Hawks. I can't do it. Cleveland at home, as we know, more than willing to beat the life out of a team. I mean, they've won so many games at home by margin. So it's Hawks or pass. This is not one I'm particularly interested in. The two I'm interested in are actually the last two. So these first three, just put up Hawks or pass for me. You could put up Hawks, but not actually going to bet this one. Either you guys interested in this one?
I'm not betting it. I am betting a game today, but I just want to say I'm very thankful for the Hawks not giving up and cashing my ticket. But damn, when Trae Young is off the court, it's tough to get a bucket for the Atlanta Hawks. That makes me hesitate to do anything with them. But 10.5 is a lot. I don't want to talk you off too much. This is one I won't play.
As that goes, I had to step away. Is that Kyle eating a bowl of cereal? Chris, give us something, man. We got nothing here.
Oh man. So where's the total? It's 239.5?
Yeah.
Is that right? All right. So line moved against me.
It's 240 now.
240. Yeah. I took it last night and it was dropping. I woke up this morning, had like 2 points in CLV. Now I'm lost the point, but I took under. I just look at
wait, game under? The graphic says Atlanta team total under.
No. I took the full game under.
Okay.
This was just a lean. It was just a lean. But I do still lean towards Atlanta team total under. I just don't want to double dip. It's a little scary adding Cleveland to go under because we know that they are extremely fast-paced team and they can, I think that they're gonna be able to get whatever it is that they want. So I do lean towards Cleveland to cover this number. The reason why I didn't bet Cleveland is because of the situational spot. This is 5th game in 7 nights. Those games this season have been under games, 18, 9, and 2 to the under. So they stand under about 66%. Going all the way back to 2018, that's a 55% under trend. And then for Atlanta, we talked about this the other day, Cal. Atlanta's still in a fatigue spot as well. I know that they have 1 day of rest here, but it's still 6 game and 9 nights. They had the makeup game against the Rockets the other day because of the snowstorm. So have you looked at Atlanta's offense? It was actually last night when I was running my numbers, it was worse than the Wizards last 5 games. Like they have 3 straight games they've stayed under 100 points. Yeah,
I didn't see no numbers, but I watched it.
They had 3 straight games where they haven't scored 100 points. I bet the over between them and the Hawks, them and the Rockets the other day when Trae Young got ruled in. They didn't get to 100 points. It was 3 straight games. They're the 2nd worst offensive rated team. So I'm not sure where the offense is going to come from. To me, this is being priced as if the Atlanta Hawks have everybody, but there's no Bogdanovich. He's on a trading block, so they're not playing him. Clint Capella's out. Jalen Johnson's done for the season with a torn labrum. I know Garland's going to come back and that's going to push the pace, but how does Atlanta get to 114 points here? Like, this is a team, Cleveland, we know Cleveland went on 3-game losing streak, right? They weren't playing any defense. Back-to-back loss to Houston. Forgot who they lost to before that. Since then, they held Detroit to 91. And then last night, they hold Miami to what? Like 105? So I'm just having trouble thinking Atlanta is going to be able to magically score the basketball in this game. I think Cleveland has gotten back to their defensive identity. And in my opinion, a lot of what Atlanta was able to do in the first 2 games when they beat this Cleveland team came on the offensive came on the boards. They were plus 13 in one of those games, a plus 7 in one of those games. Subtract Jalen Johnson, subtract Capella. I think this is going to be a slow-paced game. 6 and 9 nights for one team, 5 and 7 for the other. So I play under at 238.5.
I will say, although I agree with you, I'm actually inclined to tail that Hawks team total under. The problem is that last thing you said, I think this is going to be a slow-paced game. I said that last night in the Cleveland-Miami game, and my under looked great. The under was one of my only losses last night. The under looked excellent. Whatever happened at halftime, I don't know if every single player just banged a couple rails of coke. They came out sprinting at full speed in the 3rd quarter. I thought the under was in the bag, and the score of the 3rd quarter was 40-35. It was like they were playing the last quarter of basketball of their lives, and they were leaving it all out there. So I don't know about the under. I feel sometimes Cleveland, sometimes they just get out. Dude, Donovan Mitchell, a minute left, they're up 20 points. I'll never forgive Donovan Mitchell for this, by the way. My under's still in play. That's how good it was looking. They had a 75-point 3rd quarter, and I'm still in play in the 4th. There's a minute 13 left. Cleveland's up 20. The Heat miss a shot. Donovan Mitchell sprints down the court, launches a 28-footer, and sinks it. It's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, the game's over. He's like, still, I don't know. I'll never forgive him. I was trying not to curse everyone out in the Discord. But all right, let's go on to the next one.
Oh, man, I thought that only happened to me, Cal. So I'm sad that it happened to you, but that happens to me all the time.
Bro, sprinted down the court like the game was on the line and he was going to be the hero.
He had the over, yeah.
He might have, honestly. Might be hanging out with Rozier. Minnesota, Utah's up next. Jazz catching 6. And actually, me and Ski were just talking about this one before live, or I was talking about it. I feel like we haven't seen the Jazz best fastball many times recently. Markkanen's in. Collins is in. We're going to see, for the most part, the Utah Jazz best fastball. Here's the problem. We haven't seen it much. We don't really know how good or how bad the fastball is. I mean, I don't think any of us would say Utah's a good team. But I think fully healthy, especially at home, I think we would all agree that they're not amongst the worst in the NBA. This team can play in the elevation. Minnesota coming off a game last night where it came down to the end. They actually were losing up until towards the end of the third quarter is when they took the lead. I had Minnesota last night. I watched that one. So a game where they had to exert themselves to win that one in Phoenix. I'm down to take the Jazz here if you guys co-sign it. This is not the one I had my eyes on. The one I kind of like is the last game, but this is one. If you guys are in, I'm down to bet it with you.
I would definitely take the Jazz before I take the Timberwolves. Just them being at home, Timberwolves on a back-to-back in altitude, Jazz having that rest advantage, being healthy. I think it's a spot for the Jazz, so it's the only way I can look in this game.
All right, I'm going to write it down. Chris, if you co-sign, I'm down.
Yeah, I'm not co-signing that either, but I'm not on the opposite side, Cal. Like I don't want the Timberwolves. I keep telling you I don't want the Timberwolves. Eventually, they're going to slip up. And I remember last night we almost went head to head. I'm glad you cashed your bet and I stayed off because I like this.
You're not getting the belt back, Chris. This shit's mine.
I think I still own the belt, but
no, you just took Orlando the other day against Miami. Oh,
but you didn't bet it.
Oh my, yeah, but we put the belt up metaphorically. The belt is mine.
All right. Anyway, I can't disagree with what you're saying, Cal. Here's my problem with trying to quantify how good the Utah Jazz are. What data are we using? Because every game they rest like 5 players, and then the next game they rest 3 players, right? Like, so is it a sensible night, or is it like is Lauri Markkanen? Jordan Clarkson's now back, like he hasn't played in the last 5 or 6 games, then he comes back and I think this second game back. So I don't know. I think Utah, to your point, Kyle, they will get up for one of these games eventually. I'm just not sure when it's going to be. In altitude on the second leg of a back-to-back is not a spot that I want to trust the Timberwolves with what they had to do last night to come back and beat Phoenix, though. So I'll be with you before I'm against you. Would you still take it losing 2 points of value? Because this was at 7.5.
No, I'm on the fence. The way I was looking at it is if Ski and Chris are down to co-sign it, I'm in. That's how I was looking at it. So I don't feel overly confident in it. Saturated in the comments says, Kyle, what do you believe in more, the Jazz or Factor 75 meals? Let's go on to the next one.
I hope it's the Factor 75 meals.
We'll see. I might place a wager on those Jazz. Okay, so this one's interesting. I took a long look at this one. Houston, Memphis, and all right. I think on paper the Rockets should.
Right thing.
Shit, you're on something here.
Yes.
All right, go first.
No. Kyle, hey, Ski, I know what he's gonna say. We all gonna be on the same sheet of music here. Go ahead, Kyle.
Hold on. How do you know what sheet of music I'm on?
Kyle, when you say 5 words into your breakdown, I already know what side you're on. Go ahead, man.
Damn. Am I that transparent?
On paper, you think it's a spot for the Rockets?
Kinda. I mean, I was okay. Let me just. All right. I thought this line. I think this line is way off. I make this game Houston -1. So whenever I'm that off, I'm always a little concerned that I'm not seeing it properly. That now Ja Morant added to the injury report. Has that been updated yet, or is he still questionable?
He participated in shoot-arounds.
Okay, so that makes me feel a little better. If this line, if this is still this with no Ja Morant, something's going on. In my opinion, it has to be Houston or Houston team total over here. On paper, I don't know where the stops are coming from for Memphis. The Grizzlies defense has been going down the toilet recently. They look terrible. They've been terrible against the fast break. The Knicks made Memphis look awful defensively. And honestly, I think we made a graphic last night. I think it's their last 7 games where the defenses look so bad. Meanwhile, Houston, they lose Jabari Smith, right? Since then, the defense dropped a little bit, but the offense has actually been significantly better since Jabari Smith went down. They're actually like 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 without Jabari Smith, and it's because of the offense. They're scoring efficiently. So I think Houston should have no problem scoring points on Memphis. That's my feeling on this game. I don't know why it's +4.5. I swear, if you asked me to make this line and write tickets, I would have it at Houston -1. So I'm way off market here. Ski, are you on the other side?
Put the belt up. That's how I feel.
You're on Memphis. You're laying. Oh my God.
I'm laying with Memphis. The line is like that for a reason. Why is it like that? The Rockets, they're playing their 4th straight road game, 4th game in 6 nights. It's just not really a good spot for them. They're coming in to face a Grizzlies team who is off 2 days rest, and they have double revenge for this team. This is a spot where they'll really come to play, and they've had time off to one, rest and work on whatever, whether it was the defense you're talking about. When they have that extra time off, it gives them time to work on some things. So I like the Grizzlies here at the house. Şengün was also added to the injury report. I'm not sure if he's playing for Houston, but I don't really care, honestly, if Ja Morant plays or not. I think the Grizzlies win this one by margin.
All right, put up the Houston graphic. I'll put the belt up. But if Şengün is ruled out, I want an asterisk because I would not touch this without Şengün because the Rockets' offensive rebounding is a huge reason why they're successful. Asterisk, if Şengün doesn't play, the belt is not up. If Şengün plays, we're going at 5. I want the full 5, not 4.5. Graphic says 5. I want the 5. Chris, break the tie.
There's no tie to be broken. I'm with Ski. And you mentioned it, Kyle. Like it on paper, it does seem like a Rocket spot, but there's a reason why. So this opened last night when the late game started. I think when that Minnesota game started against Phoenix, this was like 2.5, 3. And the money started to come in on Memphis in this spot. And that potentially could have been because Şengün was already listed on the injury report as questionable. We'll see if he plays. I think it's like a lower leg contusion or something, like a calf contusion. But Ja Morant, you mentioned the line being off, Kyle. You think this line's off? A team that's won already twice against the team that they're playing against. They've already beaten them, I think, in Memphis as well. But Ja Morant gets added to the injury report. The line doesn't even come back down. The line's still at 4.5, 5. So, I mean, I think that's pretty telling here. And it's for the spot that Ski mentioned. I like this one. It's actually the only spread bet that I played today. The spot here situationally with it being a fourth game in 6 nights and the last of a 4-game road trip returns about a 27% straight up record, win percentage record, win rate is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I'll take Memphis here with the double revenge. I also read into what Ski was talking about. Coach Jenkins was saying that, like having the day off had a chance to let them kind of reset their identity, get absolutely mollywopped. They lost that game by 37. Never really was in the game against the Knicks the other day. So like Ski said, a couple days to kind of get things right. They actually got some practice time in, haven't had to travel. And then who's the best team off a loss this season? With double revenge? 13-2 are the Memphis Grizzlies against the spread coming off a loss this season. So I expect them to get right, seeing Houston on the other side. Houston has been their big brother this season. So I think Houston runs out of gas here, but I understand you wanting the asterisk with Şengün.
Yeah, I want that. But I will say, okay, so based on this line, no question, Memphis would be the quote-unquote sharp side. This line being at 4.5, 5, staying there, that's the side that seems to be taking professional action to get there. No question. And Houston plus the points would definitely be the more sucker side, right? I think the sharp money or whatever is keeping this up there is overplaying their hands a little bit. If this was Memphis minus 2.5, 3, maybe. But 5 against a team that's better than them? No.
Kyle, that's the books, in my opinion. Let me know what you think, Ski. That's the book saying that Houston runs out of gas in this spot, and Memphis, if they win, it's probably by double digits. Just because Houston runs out of gas. We see this from time to time. They just got a win against Atlanta the other day where they had to claw tooth and nail to win that game, but going up by, I think they went up by like 10 in the fourth quarter, but they only won by 4 or 5, and they didn't even cover in the next game.
Shit, I want to bet this now.
The comments make a good point. This is not double revenge, but triple revenge.
I said triple revenge last night too. I thought it was triple revenge. Yeah, the first one they lost by 20. They were 3.5 point. Houston was actually laying 3.5. The last 2 were actually early this month, and both of those were 2-possession games. Memphis, Desmond Bane hit the 3 in that last one to get the backdoor cover in Houston the other day. That was like 2 weeks ago.
All right, belt up.
What I'm
Houston.
hearing from Kyle, Kyle thinks this shit is sweet, man. Put it up. Come on.
I'm putting it up. If Şengün's out, I'm taking it back. and none of this, like Chris put the belt up, then he pretended the next day he didn't put the belt up. None of that.
No,
if Şengün's plays, the belt is up.
Can you make me a belt emoji or element of something real quick? Because the belt is up.
I've been meaning to make a belt
we need
graphic.
to make a belt.
Yeah, we need to
put it right here on my shoulder.
All right, next up, last game. This is the one I'm most interested in. Problem is there's an injury lingering. Look, you don't have to tell me, and some people have tried already when I expressed my opinion on this game earlier this morning and last night. You don't have to tell me about the Portland Trail Blazers train. Shit, I've been driving that motherfucker. Like, I've been the conductor of the Portland Trail Blazers train. I've really enjoyed my ride on it. It's a great train. It's time to fucking deboard here. If Jalen Suggs plays, the Portland might not score 90 points in this game. Yeah, Portland's been playing some defense, but if Suggs plays, dude, the Magic defense when Goga and Suggs out there is serious shit. Like, in the discussion, best defense in the NBA. And Portland is playing some defense, but we're talking about a 5-point line here where I don't know where the points are coming from for Portland. If we get a damn near full strength Magic defense out there, I don't care that it's on the road. I don't care that Portland's been hot. Magic by 10 plus if Suggs plays. I like this one, but I need Suggs out there. He's too important to not just the team, but he's too important to specifically the matchup I like. That perimeter defense against those young guards for Portland. I need Suggs out there. If Suggs plays, I will be betting this.
They did just play recently, right? And I'm just curious who was playing for Orlando in that game.
I'll pull it up right now. I have
they played on the 23rd, so
I have it right here. 23rd. Suggs and Goga were both out.
It was Franz Wagner's first game back.
And Franz shit, yeah. Franz Wagner. Mm-hmm. We watched this game together. I live bet the Magic in the second half at Westgate.
Okay, I remember this.
Yeah,
for sure.
They got their asses beat.
That's how much y'all sports bet on a daily basis that should just happen and y'all still didn't remember.
Yeah, I literally was at Westgate with Ski watching this game.
I don't know. I think that the Magic do remember losing by that big margin. They are now healthy. They are the better team, but it's just I've been wanting to stay away from the Magic until they show me like some kind of consistency. Like, yes, they're healthy, but they got to show me like they're back playing again good. For Portland, that's all they've been showing me. They've covered, I think, 6 or 7 games in a row, and they've won a few. It's hard for me to bet against Portland here at the house. So I don't want to talk you off, but I can't put my money there.
So I actually like a second bet in this game, by the way. I think 212.5 is even still high, especially if Suggs is going to play. The Magic defense, when they're fully healthy, I'm sure everyone watching would agree, one of the best in the NBA, one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. And Goga Bitadze has serious splits too. When he's on and off the court, serious defensive splits. So the Magic defense, now that they're healthy or close to it, and then Portland, this little hot streak they've been going on, it's their defense that's showing up. They're playing elite defense. So 212.5 for two teams where if the Magic are healthy, a red hot defense against one of the best defenses in the NBA. So I still think 212.5 is a little high if Suggs is going to play. But I think final score 101-86 Magic.
So Kyle, you went and then you let Ski went and then you did the thing where you skipped me, but then you went again. But anyway, that's what I like is the under. I like the under. I think it makes the most sense here if those guys come back, like you said, Kyle. That's also, did Jeremy Grant go through shoot around? Because he was also on the injury report. I forgot to check, double check that.
He's still questionable, I think.
He's still listed. I mean, that's a lot of offense. And to your point, Kyle, you mentioned if Suggs and Goga Bitadze are back, that is a lot of defense. And Portland, I think that their offense has been a little too high as of late. They're 12th best offensive rated team over the last 5 games, but on the full season, they're still 26. I think Orlando comes in here, they lock them up. They're 26th in pace last 5 games. On the road, Orlando's the slowest paced team. And Portland, even with their 7th best defensive rating in the last 5 games, they're still playing at the second slowest pace. So I absolutely think we see maybe a first half under or a full game under. I didn't bet it because I also want the injury report. I'll let you guys figure out and wrestle for who's going to actually win it. Because Portland is playing good. I do expect them to come back down to earth here soon. Orlando, here's my point about Orlando, Kyle. You trust them here even with just 1 day's rest coming off that double overtime meltdown against Orlando or against the Miami Heat the other day? You don't factor that into it?
I don't know. No, not really. I don't factor too much into it now.
Okay. What about you, Ski?
Like coming off the I mean, that if it was last night, maybe, but
well, it was double overtime, and then only 1 day, which was a travel day, to fly from Miami all the way to Portland.
But the day off, I don't know.
Miami got a day off and they didn't have to travel.
Do you want to
They
take
scored
Portland?
106
Just take
points.
Portland.
No, I don't. I want to take under because I think the offense runs out. I think the offense runs out of gas. We saw it in the last game. They went scoreless for the last 7 minutes, which is why they end up losing the game to the Miami Heat. I think that impacts the total a little bit. What you think, Steve?
I agree with you on the under. That wasn't a reason for it though. But I agree with you on that.
I can't talk anybody off the under, but have zero interest in betting this game.
All right. Real quick before we get to the Underdog, Ski, do you have a horse for the group? Ski made me a believer. He was like, we were waiting for the games to start, and he was like, let's see if I can find a horse. And I was like, I was talking shit, saying like, there's no way you have an edge betting horses. Like, I'm not doing that degenerate shit.
He always do that.
I remember.
He bet ponies.
He went and picked out a horse like 2 races ahead. I bet it, and this shit fucking horse won, man. It was pretty impressive.
I remember I was talking it out. I was like, something, the jockey, the trainer, and you're looking at me, you're like, I was like, I'm about to go bet it. And you're like, yeah, I'm betting it too.
He's like, yeah, I like what I'm seeing here. The jockey, the trainer, definitely better than the rest of the field. I was like, the fuck are you talking? I'm like, are you trolling me? Are you trolling me right now?
Well,
but the horse won.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the
appreciate you having me on.
Yep.
You guys, if you want to find me, ask Key Profit, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow.
Cool, later, Ski. And you guys know where to find Chris. Chris B. Capit on YouTube with 2 N's. Prop Beaver, do we have an Underdog?
No, we actually don't have an Underdog.
Oh.
The slate's pretty ugly. The only thing I did want to ask is this on the Factor 75 menu, or is this like a thing you have to order on the
The
side?
Shipley steak.
Yeah,
The infamous
the tomahawk
Shipley
with the
steak.
yellow American. Yeah. We're not doing college today, are we?
No. So there's no Toast? Who actually, I have to send Toast an Uber. He's sitting at Newark Airport right now. So I'll send Toast an Uber now. My 2 college bets, I bet Illinois -3.5 or 4. I think I got -4, but you could get a -3.5. I didn't do the best of the number there. What the fuck's my other bet? 1 second. Let me get it. I have 2 college basketball bets. Let me find the other one. Let me go to my slips here. Oh, I bet Penn State, but honestly, the whole world's on that. But I did bet Penn State. Toast liked it a lot, and Trevor Vandenbosch liked it a lot too. So I'm on Penn State and Illinois are the 2 college games I bet. They also like Youngstown State tonight because it's $2 beer night there. No bullshit. They actually track those in college, and like we all bet Towson for $1 beer night, and Towson won and covered. So like they actually have a hit rate with this shit. So Youngstown State is $2 beer night next to the campus. So they're betting Youngstown State at home here.
Is the theory that the crowd is extra rowdy?
Yeah, it goes crazy. I mean, I've been to the UConn games, and the shit's a factor. Like they're going crazy.
Andy used to love the crowd factor.
I know.
Yeah.
And so it's $1 beer night at Youngstown State against Wright State. So they like betting Youngstown State -1.5 for $1 beer night.
All right. Gotta trust it.
Hit me up in the Discord if you need me. You guys got an hour and a half to submit, 2.5 hours to submit for the league if you're getting in. Later, guys.
All right. Stay goated, and Weskers, please leave a reasoning for why I'm no longer trusted in the comments. I'll be sure to read it later.